Hate speech has no legal definition in the United States. However, the Cambridge Dictionary defines it as public speech that expresses hate or encourages violence towards a person or group based on something such as race, religion, sex, or sexual orientation. A difficult question when it comes to hate speech is, how do we address it? The United Nations says, addressing hate speech does not mean limiting or prohibiting freedom of speech. It means keeping hate speech from escalating into something more dangerous, particularly incitement to discrimination, hostility, and violence, which is prohibited under international law. But how do we keep hate speech from escalating? A common belief is that we should let ideas battle it out in a marketplace of ideas. The theory is that censoring hate speech would not limit hate, but would merely cause these ideas to fester and grow underground, unchallenged. The marketplace approach takes the position that when bad ideas are exposed in civil debate, the truth wins. Other people, however, say that the First Amendment and its protection of free speech, and thus hate speech, was created for a different era. There was no internet in the past or social media. For example, Russia's Internet Research Agency planted false stories and lies on social media before the 2016 presidential election. Some of these stories contained hate speech, and this was all protected by the First Amendment. People in favor of censorship claim that social media has helped create an abundance of fake news, and this has given hate speech a platform to proliferate like never before. The UN Strategy and Plan of Action on Hate Speech says, around the world we are seeing a disturbing groundswell of xenophobia, racism, and intolerance, including rising anti-Semitism, anti-Muslim hatred, and persecution of Christians. Social media and other forms of communication are being exploited as platforms for bigotry. Neo-Nazi and white supremacy movements are on the march. Public discourse is being weaponized for political gain with incendiary rhetoric that stigmatizes and dehumanizes minorities, migrants, refugees, women, and any so-called other. Some people believe this demonstrates that now is the time for governments to act and censor hate speech before something more widespread and sinister erupts. However, advocates against regulating hate speech say giving governments, or anyone for that matter, the power to enforce their definition of hate speech is dangerous. Now it is time for you to process your thoughts and think. Should governments control or ban hate speech?